The gas station sat at the edge of town, right where the desert started its long, empty stretch toward nowhere. It had 3 pumps, a small store with a flickering neon sign, and a parking lot cracked by years of heat and neglect. It was the kind of place people only stopped at because they had no choice, not because anyone wanted to be there. 3 motorcycles were parked near Pump 2, engines still rumbling as their riders took a break from the afternoon heat. The leader, a woman everyone called Red because of her long auburn hair, stretched her back and looked around at the empty landscape. Beside her stood Diesel, a huge man with tattoo-covered arms, and Mouse, a quiet, lean rider whose nickname didn't match the sharp, smart look in his eyes. They were the Iron Phoenix MC, heading north after a charity ride in Phoenix, still about 200 miles from home. Red was about to grab the pump handle when she heard a sound that didn't belong in the quiet desert. Crying, not the annoyed crying of a tired traveler, but something scared, desperate. She turned. A little girl was running across the parking lot from the rest area, her pink backpack bouncing on her shoulders. She looked around 7 or 8, with dark hair in 2 braids and sneakers that weren't even tied. Her face was red and wet with tears, and she wasn't running to the store or to any of the cars. She was running straight to them. "Please," the girl gasped, almost tripping as she reached Red. "Please, he won't leave me alone. He keeps following me." Red dropped into a crouch right away, keeping her voice calm even though adrenaline shot through her. "Who, sweetheart? Who's following you?" "The man," the girl said, glancing back toward the restrooms. "He said he'd help me find my mom, but she's not lost." Diesel and Mouse stepped closer, forming a loose semicircle around the child. They didn't crowd her, just stood close enough to make her feel safe. "What's your name?" Red asked. "Lily." "Okay, Lily, I'm Red. This is Diesel and Mouse. You're safe now. Can you show me which man was following you?" Lily's hand shook as she pointed. A man was walking toward them from the restroom area. He moved with purpose, but not in a hurry. He looked around 40, average height, wearing cargo shorts and a polo shirt. Sunglasses hid his eyes. Everything about him looked normal, plain enough that most people wouldn't notice him at all. "Lily," he called, sounding worried, almost relieved. "There you are. I've been looking everywhere." Lily pressed herself against Red's leg. "I don't know him." Red stood up, placing herself between Lily and the man. Her posture didn't change much, but something in her stance made Diesel and Mouse shift too casual but ready. The man reached them slightly out of breath and gave an apologetic smile. "Thank goodness." She wandered away from her mother. "I was trying to help her find the right car." "That's so," Red said calmly. "Where's her mother?" "Oh, she went inside, I think. I was just heading back to my car when I saw Lily looking confused." He reached his hand out. "Come on, sweetie. Let's get you back to your mom." "Lily says her mom's inside," Mouse said quietly, his tone soft but sharp. "Says she's not lost." The man's smile tightened, just a bit. "Well, kids get confused. She was clearly upset when I found her." "I wasn't confused," Lily said, her voice small but steady. "I went to the bathroom, and when I came out, he was there. He said my mom was in the wrong car, and I should go with him to find her. But I know which car is ours." Red tilted her head. "If you thought her mom was inside, why didn't you just point her toward the store?" "I did. She didn't want to go." "He didn't," Lily cut in. "He kept trying to make me walk to the far end of the parking lot, the part with no cars." Despite the heat, the air felt colder. "Look," the man said, irritation creeping in. "I don't know what she told you, but I'm trying to help. Kids make up stories when they're scared." "I didn't make anything up," Lily said. She looked at Red. "My mom's name is Dr. Sarah Chen. She's inside getting drinks. Our car is the blue Honda. Right there." She pointed to a blue car 3 spaces away. "Well then," Diesel rumbled. "Easy enough to check. Let's walk inside. Find Dr. Chen." The man's jaw tightened. "I don't appreciate being accused of something. I was being a good Samaritan. Nobody's accusing you," Red said evenly. "We just want to make sure Lily gets back to her mom safe. You understand?" Something flickered across the man's face. Calculation. His eyes moved over the bikers, their vests, the way they stood. He was sizing them up. "Fine," he said. "But this is ridiculous." They started walking to the store. Red kept Lily close. The man walked slightly ahead, with Diesel and Mouse flanking him, not touching him. Just there. The automatic doors slid open. Inside, a woman stood at the counter, paying for water and snacks. She was a slight Asian woman wearing a medical conference badge. She turned at the sound of the door. Her face shifted from neutral to confused to terrified within a second. Lily. She dropped everything and ran, falling to her knees to hug her daughter. "Oh my God, where were you? I came out and you were gone. I was about to call the police. I went to the bathroom," Lily sobbed. "And this man tried to make me go with him." Dr. Chen looked up, her eyes locking on the man in cargo shorts, her fear turning into something sharp and protective. "Who are you? What did you do?" "Nothing," the man said quickly. She was confused. "I was trying to help." "She wasn't confused," Red said. "She ran to us. Said you were following her and trying to make her leave with you." Dr. Chen stood, pulling Lily behind her. "I want to see your ID. Right now, I don't have to show you anything. This is harassment." "Actually," Mouse said quietly, "police are already on their way." Everyone turned. The clerk behind the counter held up his phone. "Called them the moment I saw what was happening through the window. They said, stay put. If you believe in trusting your instincts, in the courage to speak up, and in noticing what others miss, pause for a moment, like, comment, share, and subscribe to Bike Diaries. Tell us in the comments where you're watching from, because this story reminds us that heroes come in all sizes, and sometimes the smallest voices matter the most." The man's calm mask cracked. His eyes darted toward the exit only to find Diesel standing there, blocking it. Not threatening, just unmovable. "I didn't do anything," the man said, his voice rising. "This is insane. I tried to help a lost child." "She wasn't lost," Dr. Chen said, rage trembling in her voice. "She knew exactly where she was and where I was." "What were you planning to do?" "Nothing. This is a misunderstanding. You approached her at the restroom area," Red said. "Not a question. A quiet spot. Told her she was confused about her mom. Tried to lead her away from witnesses." "How many times have you done this?" Mouse asked softly. The man's face went pale, then red. "I want a lawyer." "I'm not saying anything else." Sirens grew louder. 2 sheriff's vehicles pulled into the parking lot, lights flashing. 4 deputies stepped out, hands near their weapons as they surveyed the scene. The senior deputy, a woman with gray streaks in her hair, entered first. "Someone want to tell me what's going on?" Dr. Chen spoke first, her words rushing out. She explained the conference, the quick stop, Lily going to the restroom, and the panic when she came out to find her daughter gone. Lily gave her statement next, still crying but clear. She told them about the man approaching her after she left the bathroom, telling her she was in the wrong place, trying to lead her to the empty end of the lot, and how she ran when she saw the bikers. The bikers gave their statements calm and straightforward. The man refused to speak, saying he had rights. The deputy nodded. "That's fine. You have the right to remain silent." She turned to her partner. "Run his ID, and I want his vehicle searched. You need a warrant." "Actually," the deputy replied coolly, "I have probable cause. Attempted abduction of a minor. Multiple witnesses." She stared at him sharply. "You can work with us, or we can do this the hard way." 20 minutes later, they found it in the trunk of his sedan, hidden under the spare tire. Zip ties, duct tape, a prepaid phone, children's clothes in different sizes. And photos, dozens of them. Different kids, different places. Some in parks, some at rest stops, some walking home from school. The deputy's face turned hard as stone. She quickly called for backup and detectives. The man was handcuffed and put in the back of the patrol car. His rights were read to him in a voice so cold it could freeze fire. Dr. Chen held Lily close, rocking gently as tears ran down both their faces. "Thank you," she whispered to Red. "If you hadn't been there, if she hadn't found you," her voice cracked. "She's a smart kid," Red said. She trusted her gut. She ran when she felt something was wrong. But she ran to you. Why? Most kids are told to stay away from bikers. Red gave a small smile. Maybe that's changing. Or maybe she saw what she needed, people who would stand between her and danger. Detective James Hartley arrived 40 minutes later after driving from the county seat. He spent 2 hours taking statements, checking evidence, and talking to other agencies. When he finally walked over to the bikers, his face was serious. "We've been tracking reports," he said quietly. "Missing kids along this highway. Different towns, different dates. No one noticed the connection until now." He looked toward the patrol car where the suspect sat. "You might have just cracked a case we've been chasing for 18 months. The photos," Mouse said softly. "Those other kids." Hartley nodded. "We're trying to identify them, checking if they match any missing persons." He paused. "If Lily hadn't run, if you hadn't listened," he didn't finish. He didn't have to. As the sun dropped low, turning the desert golden pink. Dr. Chen walked back to the bikers one last time. Lily stood beside her, gripping her mother's hand tightly. "I teach my daughter to be careful around strangers," Dr. Chen said, "to look for security guards, police, store workers if she needs help." She gave a shaky smile. "I never thought to tell her to look for bikers. Maybe there's a lesson in that," Diesel said gently. "Heroes don't always look like what you expect." Lily stepped forward and took out a crayon drawing from her backpack. 3 motorcycles, 3 riders, and 1 small girl. On top, written carefully, "My heroes today." Red took it and studied it. "This is beautiful, Lily." "Thank you. Will I ever see you again?" Lily asked. "Roads are long," Red said. "They cross more than you think. But even if we don't meet again, remember this: you trusted yourself today. You knew something was wrong, and you acted. That is the most important thing anyone can do." Red's right mouse said, "You're already braver than most adults." The bikes rumbled to life as the police finished up. The sound carried both freedom and purpose. "Where to now?" Diesel asked. Red looked at the long highway stretching north. "Home, but we take the long way." If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Bike Diaries. We bring stories that show heroism comes in all shapes and sizes, and that sometimes the smallest voices speak the loudest. Tell us in the comments, have you ever noticed something important that others missed? Your story might inspire someone. They rode through the fading light, 3 shadows against the darkening sky. Behind them, a little girl was safe because she trusted her instincts, and because 3 strangers decided to listen. Ahead of them, the road stretched wide and full of unknowns. 6 weeks later, an envelope arrived at the Iron Phoenix clubhouse. Inside was a newspaper clipping. The headline read, "Interstate Predator Convicted, 11 Children Recovered. More cases pending." Below was a photo of Lily and her mother at a press conference with Detective Hartley. Lily held a bravery award from the sheriff's department. There was also a handwritten note, "Dear Red, Diesel, and Mouse. Because of what happened, they found other kids he took. The detective said I helped save lives by speaking up and running to you. My mom put me in self-defense classes now. I'm learning to trust myself even more. Thank you for listening. Thank you for standing up when others might have walked away. Your friend Lily. P.S. When I grow up, I want to ride a motorcycle. My mom says we'll see." Red read the letter twice, then pinned it on the clubhouse board. Right beside it, she placed Lily's crayon drawing. Mouse walked past with a cup of coffee. "Kids doing good?" "Better than good," Diesel said from across the room. Red gently touched the drawing. "She ran to us because she believed we'd protect her. That's not something to take lightly." "No," Mouse said softly. "It's not." That afternoon, they headed out again, not to anywhere in particular, just following the roads that connected places, people, and moments. Somewhere out there, someone else might need help. Someone else might look at their leather vests and see not danger, but safety. And when that moment came, they would be ready. Because that's what the road asked of them. Being part of something bigger meant showing up, paying attention, and standing between the vulnerable and those who would hurt them. The miles rolled on, full of purpose. Every mile mattered. Every moment of awareness, of courage, of refusing to look away. Lily had reminded them of that. The small girl with braids and a pink backpack, running toward them with fear and hope. She had chosen them, trusted them, believed they would stand, and they did. The road called. They answered. And somewhere behind them, Lily was learning that courage wasn't about size or age. It was about trusting yourself, speaking up, and running toward help when you needed it. The engines hummed steady and strong, carrying 3 riders through a world that needed people willing to notice, to care, to act. Heroes came in all shapes and sizes. Sometimes they wore leather and rode motorcycles. Sometimes they were 7 years old and brave enough to run. The road knew. The road connected them all. As long as people were willing to listen, to stand up, to protect those who needed it, there was hope. Thank you for watching. If this story reminded you to trust your instincts, speak up when something feels wrong, and never underestimate the power of paying attention, please share it. Subscribe to Bike Diaries for more stories that show heroes are everywhere, and courage comes in all forms.